week. So one thing that Jake Fisher in his recent report talked about is Josh Giddey, and that the Bulls are still not open to talking Josh Giddey signing trades, despite apparently a threat from Josh Giddey to take the qualifying offer. This from Jake Fisher. Will Giddey sign the qualifying offer? That is his threat. That is his leverage right now over the Chicago Bulls. Doesn't mean they want to lose Josh Giddey at all. They've been telling other teams, they've been telling agents since the combine that they are not interested in having any discussion whatsoever with Josh Giddey. They value Josh Giddey. So, okay, there's one of the two things you can take from this. You value Josh Giddey, but you value him at your number. Or you value Josh Giddey and you are so beholden to what the market is dictating that you're not moving off of that. And that does put you at the risk. Now, the Bulls seeing the risk of Josh Giddey taking the sign and trade, either they're calling his bluff. And I was one of the ones when it came out that a team like the Warriors, they said as many as 4 Eastern Conference teams have made trade calls with Josh Giddey's agent. I looked at that and said, that feels like an agency ploy. That feels like the agent is floated that out to try to get this thing moving quickly with the Chicago Bulls. Now, the qualifying offer, we all know that is definitely a ploy, but a legitimate one that could happen, right? And so Jake Fisher goes on to say this. When asking around over the weekend and trying to connect the dots between the Bulls and the Warriors, front office personnel and rival agents all came with the same conclusion. This is a means of Josh Giddey's side trying to increase the price one last time rather than being a legitimate movement on something outside of Chicago. That was actually from Brett Siegel. The Bulls are not trading Josh Giddey whatsoever, and they want him back. So the Bulls are seeing the bluff. They're seeing Josh Giddey's bluff, and they're saying, okay, bet, show us. And I'm not saying that playing chicken with Josh Giddey is going to yield the best results. I'm not saying that can't affect your franchise in the future with negotiations. I'm not saying that. Now, luckily, Josh Giddey's agent does not have a lot of NBA clients. He just doesn't, right? So one of the things in when you negotiate with players is that you risk the next time you have to negotiate with that agent on a different deal, they try to get their lick back. Because Josh Giddey's agent doesn't necessarily have a bunch of clients, I think that you're seeing that it's not really the Bulls probably were playing hardball a little bit more than what they would do if somebody was represented by Clutch Sports. But this thing is still it's an interesting standpoint. It's an interesting saga because all we've heard is that both sides have basically made their wants known, and neither side has budged off that. Seems like Josh Giddey is trying to get the most money possible, and his agent is trying to get him the much money possible. And the Chicago Bulls are trying to get the most savings possible based off where the market is saying that they are at. And I mean, I can understand both sides of it. I've said that multiple times throughout this whole thing is that I can understand the Bulls side of it. I can understand Josh Giddey's side of it. But as a negotiation, at some point, somebody got to come down off something.